Good morning to all. Today we are starting with a new chapter of grammar prepositions. Now, what is a preposition? Now, with the word preposition, we can understand that it is made up of two words. If we divide the word, it is made up of two words. Pre plus position. Pre means before and position means place. So, a preposition is a word that shows a relationship between a noun or a pronoun and another word in a sentence. Prepositions usually come before a noun or a pronoun and they give information about time, place, or direction. For example, the school starts at 7:30 a.m. So at is here time. It is telling the time. My mother is in the garden. So in is the word which is telling the place of mother. The train went through the tunnel. Through is the direction, which is telling about the movement of the train from one end to the another end. Now, kinds of preposition. When we talk about kinds of preposition, first one is simple prepositions. Now, simple prepositions are those prepositions which consists of only one word. Means there is only one word. For example, in, on, at, with, over, through, under, above, and so on. The second type is compound preposition. Compound prepositions are those prepositions which consist of two or more words. For example, instead of, in the middle of, by the side of, and so on. Now, when we talk about third type of preposition, then we can say that it is double preposition. This I have not written here, I'm just telling you. It's like if we speak, the dog jumped onto the bed and left marks upon the sheets. Now onto is a single preposition, but it is made up of two prepositions, on plus to, and up and on, so upon. So you can use up and on together and use it as a double preposition. Now, some prepositions. I have sharing a screen and you can see these are the prepositions which we use like on, through, behind, beneath, against, for, beside, over, and so on. Now, kinds of prepositions. There are three types of prepositions. First is prepositions of place or place of preposition, then time of prepositions and direction of prepositions. So the first one is preposition of place. Preposition of place show where something happens. So they are called preposition of place. When we talk about them, we can understand this with the help of the examples. First one is Sandy was sitting under a tree. So what is the position? Under. Where was she sitting? Under. Some geese flew over their house. So again, over is the place. John and Sarah were hiding inside the wardrobe. There was a tree beside the river. Again, if we want to understand the use of at, in, and on for preposition of place, we can understand with the help of this screen which I am showing you on here. Now, when we want to talk about the word at, preposition at. So at can be used for location like the top of the stairs, at the bottom of the page, the end of the street. Or you can use it for specific places. Or you can point the in space. You can point the places in space. Then you can use for events. You can even use for public places, for shops, and for addresses also. Like for group or for events, you can use like at a party, at a concert, at the cinema, For places you can use at school, at university, or at home. Then for shops you can use at the bakery, at a cafe, at the chemist. Now when we want to use for in is actually we use which areas which have edges, like inside within something, or in enclosed space, or you can use with containers, liquids, you can use building rooms, you can use with areas, you can use for cities also, like in London, then in the car, in a van, in the sea, in a river, in a lake, in the swimming pool, printed material also, in a book, in a picture, uh, in the newspaper. Now, what is the use of on? On is used for flat surfaces like on the floor, on the fifth floor, on the right, on the left, public transport, on the bus, then media, on the radio, on TV, on internet, on a website. Another way of using this, I'll tell you. How can we use preposition of place? Now, when we are using, again I'm repeating, when we are using at, you can use for cities also. You can use for small villages also. Like he lives in Gyanpur, okay, or he lives in Bassi. It's a name of small villages or cities. Next, you can also use for countries which have vast area, big areas they have. Like he lives at Hathipol in Udaipur. So here you are using in also, and you are using at also. Why you are using at? Because at is the location which you are showing in the vast area of Udaipur. Now again, you can use for a place of definite space, like he is at the school gate. So at the school gate, this is the definite point or place where you want to show the person or anyone else. Now second is the use of in. When we are talking about preposition of place, how can we use in? First is, suppose you want to speak and say that, if you want to say like he lives in India. So the area of India is vast. So we can use it here also. Again, if you want to point out a place in a vast area, again, same. Like he lives at Zohri Bazaar in Jaipur. So you are telling the place, and where is the place? It is in Jaipur. Next, on. How can we use on? Again, one more thing I want to say. How can you use in? He is in the room. So in the room means he is inside that boundary only. He is enclosed with some surrounding. That's why we can use in. Again, if you want to use on. On you are using when you have a surface, like the book is on the table, spread out a carpet on the floor. So there is a surface, then you can use on. Second, then one more thing which you can use from. Like this letter has come from Agra. Okay, so this is also where you can use for place. You are showing the place. It has come from Agra. Next, again, if I want to say they will travel from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. So again, you are saying the place from where you are starting, or from where that work is starting. Please remove the book from the table. So again, the work which is starting to remove the book is from the table. Now, even if you can use by also, like come and sit by me. By me means near me. Okay. Then we can also use between. Between we can use when we are using to show the place between two people, between two things. Like there is a tree between the two houses. So you are showing the place of the tree by using the word preposition between. Now, when we talk about over, over means like for example, spread the sheet over the spread the sheet over the bed means you are using this over when you are putting anything over another thing. Okay, like bed is already there and now you are putting sheet over that. Next, under, same as it was over, then it will be under. That you are not touching that. Okay, you have to remember when you are using over, it is like you are just covering that part. But when you are using under, like my dog sits under my coat. So here you are not you are not touching the coat. You are only saying that, again example, a cat is sitting under the table. So that cat is not touching the table. Through. When we want to use through, it means passing, starting from one and ending to the other part. Starting from here and ending there. Now, how can we say? I can explain you with examples also. Now, there are many like along, across, around, against, about, behind, down, beside. These are all words which we can use in prepositions. Now, moving to time. When we talk about time, preposition of times show when something happens. They are called prepositions of time. Okay, so 1 minute, I'll just go back. Yeah, this I have shared. Now see, again when we talk about preposition of time, you can see again at is used here, by is used here, and we will see about in also. So like my school starts at 9 o'clock. We are going to the zoo on Sunday. So at and on is used here. And I'll tell you one more word or sentence with in. Like it is cold in winter. So now I'll tell you how to use at, on and in for prepositions of time. Now see, when we use preposition at for time, it is used for precise time. Means it is used for a point of time. Like, I get up at 5 o'clock. Okay, then he sleeps at midnight. It is very hot at noon. So at noon, at midnight, at 5 o'clock are the uh, points which are definite. You cannot change. They are the point of time. Now, the use of in. In is used for months, years, then we can use for season. We can use for decades, centuries, and a long period of time. For example, in 16 years' time, in 1991, in December, in the 21st century, in the Christmas holiday. So like some examples I'll give you. If you want to use for month, you can write our school session begins in April. If we want to talk about season, you can say it is cold in winter. When you want to say about years, you can say Ashok will be post-graduated in 2 years, or Ashok will complete his BSc in 3 years. So you are telling a period, a long period of time. Now, even we can use in the time part of a day, like he takes tea in the morning. So in the morning is a part of a day, so we can use it. Again, we can use like he plays football in the evening. Nobody works in the afternoon. Again, some we use like this also. It's like it is 12 at noon. He goes to bed at 9. Noon, night, these are some definite points of time. That's why we are using at. Night, then noon. They are the definite points. That's why we are using at for these words. Okay. Now the use of on. On we use for days, dates and festivals. Like he comes here on Monday. So Monday is your day. Makar Sankranti falls on 14th January. So it is your date. And when we talk about festival, we can use we shall visit your town on Deepavali. Okay. Now, if we can also use on for a given time, like he finishes his work on time, not afterwards, not later. This money is payable on demand. Now even you can use from and to, like point at the beginning of time period and point at the end of a time period, like I work from morning to evening. So morning is the beginning of time period and 2 is the end of the time period. Same, the teacher taught me from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Again, there are more words which we can use for uh, time also, like after, then before, then by, again between, and for, since, beyond, during, around, until, within, over. These are the prepositions which are used for uh, using for telling the time. Like if I say for after, after means like you are telling anything which is happening after that, like it is dark after sunset. So you are telling the time after sunset. Before, it indicates earlier, and after indicates later. Like March comes before April. By. By is used to tell the time in the watch. Like it is 5 o'clock by my watch. You never say it is 5 o'clock in my watch. Okay. You will say it is 5 o'clock by my watch. Or if you want to ask a question, you can say what is the time by your watch. Now, again, if you are saying for a given time, then you can say I shall be at your home by Monday. So it is a definite time which you are giving. So that time also you can use by. Now between. If you want to use between for preposition of time, how can you use? You will use between two times, like I can stay with you between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. So 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. You are giving a time between this time period. Next, for. For is used for a period of time. It denotes the duration of an activity. You are telling about the duration of that activity. For example, he has been ill for 5 years. So this is the duration of his illness. I study English for an hour. So this is the duration which you are telling for your study. Now since. For is used telling you about the duration. Now since. Since tells about the point of time. Like he has been living in this town since 2001. So it is telling the point of time, or you can say it is telling the definite year. One more I can say, he has been absent from school since Monday. So Monday is the definite day which you are pointing. Again, they have been learning their lesson since morning. So morning is the fixed time. She has been dancing since 5 o'clock. So these are some words like around, till. So as we'll do the exercises, we'll go move on and I'll tell you about their explanations also. Now the third one is preposition of direction. When we talk about preposition of direction, it tells where something is going. We can also say movement, or we can also say motion. So now when I'm talking about time direction, it is like the boys chased after each other, the football rolled down the hill, a man was walking his dog along the riverbank, and so on. Let's understand some prepositions of movement, like to. To is used when there is a specific destination in your mind. For example, if you have decided that you are going to a doctor's house or to a doctor's clinic, it means your destination is fixed. it is specified. So you can say, I am going to the doctor's house. You can say, I am going to the party. Or even you can say, are you going to the party? Now, when I want to talk about two words, it's like movement in the direction of something. Like, he was sitting with his back towards me. Next, through. Through means movement across something from one side to the other. Now see, second one is also the same, across. Movement from one end of something to the other end. So when the meaning is same, then what is the use where you are going to use through and where you are going to use across. So now let me explain you through. Now see the example. The train went through the tunnel. And the example of across is they walked across the road. Now the confusion is, we can also say the train went across the street. No. Across the tunnel? No, it will be wrong. Why it will be wrong? I'll explain you. When you are using through, it means the movement is from one side of it to the other side. But when you are talking, what is the difference? The difference is here the tunnel is stable. It is not moving, but the movement is only of the train. So when if this thing is there, then you are not going to use across. You will only use through. But when you are talking about across, it means that movement is on a flat surface, and here you are also moving there. Like he is walking across the road. So here the road is stable, but you are walking here. So here we are going to use across, and it is a flat surface, like you have to go from this end to that end. So you can use like he is swimming across the river. But in the previous case, the tunnel went through the train went through the tunnel. There the tunnel is stable, but the train is in movement. Now when we talk about over, over means something's position when it is above something else. One thing is already there and you are covering it with another thing. Like I put a shawl over my shoulder. So shoulder is already a place, and then you are putting something, so you are showing a movement here. Now along. Along means movement in a line. Movement in a line means like we walked along the river. River is already there and you are walking along with it. So it will be movement in a line. Now the difference between in, on and into. In we use when you are saying the position in relation to the area or space or anything place which is surrounding it. Like we are going to have a picnic in the park. So park is an enclosed area, or park has a surrounding all around it. So we can use in there. Now when you are using for on is used which position to show the position in relation to a surface. Like there was an array of food on the table. So table is a flat area or it is a surface. The rain falling on the roof kept me from sleeping. So again roof is an area. Roof is an area. Again into. Into means when you are using like from one like causing something to hit something else. For example, you can use into he went into the room. So here it's like you are moving from one area to another area. Like he got into the car. So before he entered the car, he was outside. So that outside was one area. Now you have entered the car. So your inside the car is your second area. So you will not say I got in the car. You will say he got into the car. Again, another example I'll tell you. the lion jumped into the well. So the first area is the area outside the well, and now he has jumped into the well. So into the well is inside area of the well. So here we are going to use into. We are not going to use in. Now if I say upon, if I want to say the cat jumped upon the table. So it is like the cat was not near that area. It was at some area, some other area. So it has jumped to another area, that is your table. So here you can use upon. Say the monkey jumped and sat upon the back of the crocodile. So the area where the monkey was sitting before, maybe it may be a land, maybe it may be a tree. So now he has changed his area. So the monkey jumped and sat upon the back of the crocodile.